Hi there, this is a thought for the day, and this thought for the day comes from The Nature of the Psyche by Jane Roberts, who is channeling Seth. Quite an amazing series of books. So this one today, he says he's going to talk, this is Seth saying he's going to talk about the psyche, languages, and gods. Gods with a small g. And he begins, almost any question that you can ask about God with a capital can be legitimately asked of the psyche as well. It seems to you that you know yourself, but that you take the existence of your psyche on faith. At best, it often seems that you are all that you know of your psyche, and you will complain that you do not know yourself to begin with. So when you say, I want to find myself, you usually take it for granted that there is a completed, done, finished version of yourself that you have mislaid somewhere. When you think of finding God, you often think in the same terms. Now, you are around yourself all the time. You are forever becoming yourself. So in a manner of speaking, you are composed of those patterns of yourself that are everywhere coming together. You cannot help but be yourself. Biologically, mentally, and spiritually, you are marked as apart from all others, and no cloak of conventionality can ever hide that unutterable uniqueness. You cannot help but be yourself then. In a way, physically, you are a molecular language that communicates to others, but a language with its own peculiarities. As if speaking an accepted tongue, you spoke with a biological accent that carries its own flavor and meaning. When you ask, what is my psyche or my soul or who am I? You are seeking, of course, for your own meaning as apart from what you already know about yourself. So in that context, God is as known and as unknown as you are to yourself. Both God and the psyche are constantly expanding, unutterable, always becoming. You will question, most likely, oh, becoming what? For to you, it usually seems that all motion tends toward a state of completion of one kind or another. You think, therefore, in terms of becoming perfect, becoming free. The word becoming by itself seems to leave you up in the air, so to speak, suspended, without definition. So if I say you are becoming what you already are, then my remark sounds meaningless. For if you already are, how can you become what is already accomplished? In larger terms, however, what you are is always so much vaster than your knowledge of yourself. For in physical life, you cannot keep up with your own psychological and psychic activity. Again, in a way, your bodies speak a biological language, but in those terms, you are bilingual, to say the least. You deal with certain kinds of organizations. They can be equated to biological verbs, adjectives, or nouns. And these result in certain time sequences that can be compared to sentences written and read from one side, say, to the other. Pretend that your life's experience is a page of a book that you write, read, and experience from top to bottom, left to right, sentence by sentence, paragraph by paragraph. That is the you that you know, the worldview that you understand. But other, quite as legitimate yous may read, write, and experience the same page backwards, or read each letter downward and back up again as you would a column of figures. Or others might mix and match the letters in an entirely different fashion altogether, forming entirely different sentences. Still another, vaster you might be aware of all the different methods of experiencing that particular page, which is your life as you understand it. You think that your own consciousness is the only logical culmination of your body's reality. You read yourself in a certain accepted fashion. In the entire book of life, however, just physically speaking, there are interrelationships on adjacent levels that you do not perceive, as other portions of your own biological consciousness or biological language relate to the entire living fabric of the world. So, in physical terms, you are alive because of substructures, psychic, spiritual, and biological, of which you have hardly any comprehension at all. So, as you go through your day, think about how vast you are at so many levels. How many other versions of yourself exist? How many other pages or books, or maybe I should say pages of the same book, your book, exist out there? And can you even get your mind around the idea of becoming what you already are? So think about, as you if you give yourself a hard time, if you judge yourself, think about if you are impatient, or you think you're somehow not evolving, not keeping up, not learning, not becoming what you want to become. Maybe you already are that in some other version of yourself. So why not just relax and enjoy this experience right here today and make a great day?